Welcome back to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan, and we've got another first-time guest, another industry leader for you who is on deck, and we'll bring him out in just a moment. I would like to thank our production partners, Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group, California. Both groups would love to hear from you. Let them know that producer Danny and I sent you, and they can help you with possibly a new brand and getting your real estate transactions closed. And we're going to be talking about real estate transactions in just a second. So with that, I want to introduce Keegan Bisch. He is the vice president of Stonehill. He is one of the go-to lenders in the industry, and it is just an absolute pleasure to welcome him to the show for the first time. Keegan, welcome. How are you?
Craig, how you doing? Great to be here.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
It's a pleasure. Also, you can meet Keegan live and in person on March 10th. He is anchoring our lending panel for hospitality, and he is, again, as I mentioned in the intro, one of the go-to lenders in this industry. He gets deals done. He's been getting them closed during the pandemic, and he can help you with all of your lending needs. So, Keegan, let's get right into this. For the few people that don't know you and Stonehill, would you tell them about yourself and your company, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Stonehill, we're a direct hotel lender. We focus on premium branded select service and compact full service hotels, primarily Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, and IHG branded. We're very active in the hotel lending space. We can go kind of anywhere in the capital stack. We do a lot of bridge loans, senior bridge loans, senior construction loans, mezzanine loans, preferred equity, and also PACE financing. We lend all throughout the United States, headquartered out of Atlanta. I'm based in Los Angeles and cover our Western region. We also do all of our kind of asset management and servicing in-house.
Perfect. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you've been making loans throughout COVID-19. What type of loans are you doing right now? Are you doing refinances? There's money in there for PIPs, construction, pure acquisition, a little bit of everything with some PACE financing in that. Could you tell the audience what you're up to these days?
Yeah. It's a little bit of everything now. It was certainly, during last year was a lot of PACE financing and more kind of pref equity and bridge loans, kind of recapping groups. As we were dealing with the depth of the pandemic there, there's definitely seeing more acquisitions, renovations, conversions, where we're going very big back into construction lending, senior construction lending, and also continue to do a lot of PACE financing, both kind of retroactive PACE for gap financing for groups needing working capital and interest reserves, as well as combining with our senior loans and doing a lot more kind of ground up construction PACE as well.
I like those C-PACE loans that you're doing for some additional working capital, and I think that's a brilliant idea. It's certainly cheaper than mezz debt, and the payment structure built into the taxes. Obviously, you being a first lender, you understand it. You've got a whole group that's doing that. So I think kudos to you and your team for working those two facets together and helping out our industry. So, we all know that the loan sponsor is critical, probably more so now than at any other time. We're all coming off a horrendously horrible year. So what is your process right now? You're looking at the sponsor. You're also looking at the asset. So give us a couple of in-depth nuggets on each, would you please?
Yeah, certainly. After what we've all just been through, certainly sponsorship and focusing on working with good borrowers is a huge piece of that. And our loan portfolio has done well, and we've been very flexible with the borrowers that the loans we've had. So that's certainly focusing on sponsorship is huge this time around again. I think too, it's, I'd say you kind of have two different markets you're looking at. So you've got kind of the drive to leisure assets that have been, on fire. They've been, exceeding kind of last year's, in some cases exceeding last year's performance, and you've seen some trades that have been record setting as well. So you've got that, and then on the flip side, we've got our borrowers who are still really dealing with. It's been almost 2 years since the beginning of the pandemic, and that's a long time to stretch. If you've got kind of an urban hotel and group demand and business demand is still still not where it needs to be. So. So we're still, I'd say, obviously very focused on location. We're very brand focused. So we really do focus primarily on kind of the big four and their reservation systems and their ability to kind of drive occupancy to the hotel. So we look at those primarily, and sponsorship is a big one as well. And particularly as we get more into we're doing a lot of construction loans again, and obviously
right.
Sponsorship's critical on those.
Now, I know we're all hoping that we're going to have a great holiday season, but yes, I don't think it's going to live up to expectations. I mean, urban core hotels definitely still have problems. They're going to continue to have problems, but I'm looking at the country basically being reopened for vaccinated, people coming into the country. Airline fares from Europe to here are up over 750% of what they were just a month or two ago. So, and I think most people kind of feel like we do in the United States. It's great to travel in business or first class, but if I'm going on a leisure trip, I want to spend that money in the city that I'm going to. So I'm not so sure we're going to have a really great holiday season. I'm a little skeptic of that. Plus, we've got other issues, not only with the airlines, but with TSA. But again, I agree with you on the location. So let's walk through a little bit. What's your loan committee process like?
Yeah,
I mean, you've got to have a good story from the sponsor. And what's that like?
Yeah. I mean, for us, we're it's a fluid process with us. We're focused on getting things executed and done quickly. So we for us, we also have a lot of hotel knowledge. That's what we focus on. So it's easier to get our arms around and also look at it through the eyes of the developer as well. So, but we have a relatively small committee, a quick process with kind of an upfront screener that we do, and then a final committee to just checking down due diligence. But it's a smooth process, and so we try and get those done quickly.
Well, and I think it's got to be smoother than just about anybody else, just to be perfectly frank about it. You look at your executive team, and they understand financing. They understand hotel ownership. Your background is stellar. So I think a lot of the brain damage that you may get, whether it's a national bank or a community bank, that really doesn't understand hospitality, doesn't have somebody that's there and it's kind of a one-off for them, you may not get your deal through, and you've wasted a whole lot of time. So that's what I really appreciate about you and your team over at Stonehill. What's your construction loan process looking like now? Are you at 50% loan to cost, 60%? You've got continuing guarantees. Do some of those burn off based on milestones that are hit? What's the scenario there?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're going up even higher than that. I'd say 65 and up to really 75% loan to cost.
Wow.
All non-recourse. So yeah, just a completion guarantee and kind of bad boy carve outs, typical of those. But yeah, I mean, we're really focused on, I'd say kind of banks in general on hotels have been, after we've just been through that, many are kind of reluctant to get back into the space. And I think you'll see most leverage with banks being lower, probably more at that 50-55% full recourse, and probably more vanilla deals. I think at the moment there's very few groups looking to kind of get back into higher leverage, construction loans for hotels, and a non-recourse as well. So I think that's obviously where we're targeting. We're trying to fill that niche in the market, and obviously one where I think it definitely helps to have a group that understands hotels, right. And can be easier to work with through kind of the construction and draw process. So.
Absolutely. Now, are you doing a lot of refis right now? And is that also including a PIP, or is it just a pure refi?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we're still seeing quite a few kind of recaps of both sides of things. I mean, you're seeing, both kind of upcoming maturities, giving kind of short-term bridge capital for those newly built hotels looking to stabilize. We can do kind of short-term bridge financing. And then as well, I think one of the trends too you're seeing are a lot of, there's definitely a lot of capital starved hotels out there at the moment, just with the, we've had a lot of PIPs that have been pushed out, forgiven during COVID, which has been super helpful for developers. But I think you're now seeing, groups looking to get started on those, and also, more tired hotels, more, desperately in need of that PIP as well. It's also been a bit of a challenge for developers dealing with kind of the supply chain issues and costs. So, but I think you've got a lot of groups kind of now looking to get started on those, just given the lead times, given the costs. And so, so to answer your question, but we're, bridge loans for doing more bridge loans for those kind of PIPs, renovations, conversions, that as well. So.
Okay, great. All right, my friend, it's time for the lightning round. Are you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Producer Danny's going to put 2 minutes on the clock. So here we go. 2 minutes. Ground up or repositioning?
It's all good.
C-Pace?
Love it.
Cross-collateralization?
Can look at it.
Balance?
Find it.
Phase 1?
Will be required.
Clean.
Clean, hopefully, yes.
Team?
Most important thing.
Closing?
Yeah, let's get it done. Get it done.
Refi?
Seeing more of it.
Road warrior?
Yeah, always be closing. Gotta get out there.
There you go. Favorite airport?
Small ones. Small airports.
Favorite hotel or resort?
Terranea, local. Throw it out to the local spot.
I love it. You did it with 54 seconds to spare. Good timing, my friend.
Nice.
And that's the second time that beautiful resort has come up. So
nice.
I think if it comes up for a third time, I'm going to send producer Danny there so she can stay there for a few days. She could really see California hospitality at its finest. So let's talk about being a road warrior. We've all been locked up. Okay. We've been out for a few months now. What's it like for you being back on the road? You've got to see the hotels. You're talking to the sponsors. You're meeting with them. And a lot of times with construction, you're probably getting into it with the designer and the architects, the brands, and everybody else. You're interfacing with everybody. What's it like being a road warrior for you now?
Yeah, I mean, for what we do, especially, I mean, it's critical getting out there and, again, FaceTime with developers and mortgage brokers, and, just being able to get out there again has been great. Obviously, we're in real estate, so gotta, being able to get out there and see the hotels, see the markets. I think that's obviously been really important to get back to, and was more of a challenge last year, but nice to see that coming back.
I agree with you. I think it's nice to get back out there. We had the lodging conference a few weeks ago. It's great seeing everybody. You know, we had some really good meetings there. I got to see a lot of the sponsors for CLIC 5 there as well. And, you know, I think that was the conference not only that we needed, but we deserved. I think we got a lot of great information, and we also had a dose of reality in there. It just wasn't, you know, sunshine and rainbows. There's some problems. I mean, corporate travel being one, group being another. Our travel partners, you know, whether it's the airlines, the trains, or rental car agencies, everybody's got their own little hiccups going right now. And we've got staffing problems in the hospitality sector. So I think it's, you know, you being a road warrior, getting out there, getting these deals done. And I've said this, you know, for almost 2 years now, all roads to a financial recovery lead through hospitality, travel, and tourism. So, you know, whether you're relocating your family or your business, it starts with you getting in your car or on an airplane, checking into a hotel and doing your due diligence in that area. And, you know, I think, you know, people like you that, you know, you're covering the Western U.S. You're seeing everything from not only the ground up level, but from 40,000 feet, and you're getting a good picture on what's going on within the industry. So with that being said, what trends are you seeing out there right now in the hotel space?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, you know, obviously we're seeing the people want to get out there and travel again. And so I think you're seeing that on the leisure side. I think, you know, obviously it's been nice seeing some of the conferences happen again. There's a bit more of the business demand coming and events, but obviously that's still got a long way to go. And I think that is some of the headwinds that we're dealing with. You know, I think too, in looking at certain markets, you know, I look a lot at, you know, like the Bay Area as an example, where you've got more of the tech kind of, you know, not coming back into the office right away or indefinitely, and trying to figure out that. But on, you know, on the flip side, for hotels at least, you know, a lot of those groups, even if they're not in the office, they still, you know, you got to come back for the in-person meetings as a company, and potentially, you know, could mean more hotel stays as well. So I think, you know, the hotel industry, I think, is well positioned right now. But, you know, like you said, I mean, we definitely have a lot to grow, particularly in business, you know, office demand and groups coming back.
Definitely, my friend. And you know what? We're out of time. It's been a blink of an eye. Look at that. You know, Keegan, I could keep you here for hours, but then Greg would get upset because you're not getting deals done. So
that's right.
How can everybody get a hold of you?
Yeah, call, email, reach out. Love to take a look at your hotel project and see what we can get done for you.
You want to give them an email address?
Yeah, absolutely. It's K Bisch, BISCH at Stonehill SC for strategiccapital.com.
Perfect. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you being a part of the conversation. We'll have you back again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Thank you, our audience. Really appreciate you joining us today as well. So there's a great lender for you. And before we get into anything else, I want to thank our production partners again, Red Roof Franchising, Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group. And you can meet both of them and Keegan Bisch at CLIC 5, live and in person on March 10th, 2022 at the Crown Jewel of the Anaheim Resort, the JW Marriott. If you are in California hospitality or want to be, this is the one conference you should be at. Go to our website, CLIconference.com. Check out our agenda, see who our sponsors are. We'd love to have you there. It's going to be a jam-packed day full of information and great networking opportunities as well. So with that, I want to remind you to be kind, share your knowledge, and go be amazing.